Happy New Year to each and every single one of you out of there. This is the first show, at least for me, this year, and it's been anticipated for quite some time. We've been planning ahead that 2025 would be the final year of the bull market where it would make the most outsized returns, specifically within the altcoin sector. But the question remains, which sector is going to perform the best? In today's show, we're going to discuss this and a whole lot more. We're going to have a look at which are going to be the winners. Is it going to be the meme coins or is it going to be the AI sector? So smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm super excited for what this year holds in store. We've already done phenomenally well over the last couple of years, and I do anticipate that this will be yet the biggest year that we've had together. So do smash the like button. Let's get straight into the show content. You can see some big gainers over here on the daily, with new volume expected to come back into the markets as of today, when most people are returning back to work. Most people are getting back into the swing of things, as it is the first full week back for most people in the markets as well as in the workforce. And I think a lot of people will be looking to establish positions back into the market this year. So the question is, will we have a stellar Q1? And if we do, what are going to be the best performing crypto assets? We're going to look at that and dive into that in today's show, most specifically comparing meme coins and AI agents against one another to see where the best bet can potentially be placed. But first, we have to look at where Bitcoin is. We have to look at where ETH is as well. And then we have to look at what we can expect leading into specifically Q1 of 2025, because it is going to be an absolutely massive year. Now, the first thing that I do want to bring your attention to is going to be this chart over here. It's the 5-day time frame. Looking at Bitcoin, currently trading at $99,422, just shy of that all-important psychological $100,000 mark. And it is starting to look like you have the potential for a higher low to be formed over here. But the next two important things that I want to look at is, number one, a momentum oscillator, and number two, a volatility indicator. So the momentum oscillator above over here is just stochastic RSI. You can see has reached all the way to the bottom of there with the potential to cross towards the upside, which means if bulls do start to reclaim some of those key levels and maintain price, most specifically above the $100,000 mark, you will have the potential for that stochastic RSI on the 5-day time frame to cross back up. And then the volatility indicator, of course, we have on the bottom is the Bollinger Band with percentile, which has printed similar to what we saw previously, extremely low volatility, low volume, low volatility, exactly what you would expect over that festive season period where, you know, a lot of people leave the markets. And now as they come back, if you can just start to maintain those high highs and high lows, we'll go in the low time frames as well. Well, that's going to bode very well, because coming off low volatility with momentum oscillators reset does position the market for big moves. Now, I would be very cautious though on the next major move up, right? As Bitcoin pushes up to around $120,000 zone, I do think that is going to be a major profit-taking zone for the first time within this overall crypto cycle. I would be looking to take a lot off the table. But the question is, are we overheated right now? Is it too late to enter into the market? Have you missed all the gains that are to be had within the cycle? Well, we can look to this chart over here, and this is looking at the risk of actually entering into the market right now, and it's color coded. And what we typically see is the market tends to top when you have the reds and oranges. So you don't want to be entering into the market when you're in these periods of red and orange, just like that over there. And if we do zoom into the current period, well, we're not seeing that at all. In fact, we're actually seeing only that 0.4 to 0.5, which in terms of a percentage, that would be basically the 40 to 50% level. That's what we're currently seeing. I just want to relate it to what we saw in the price cycle. There it is. 40 to 50% level was all the way down here. Bitcoin still almost doubled in price from that point in time. And that was all the way back in 2017. You have the 2021 period over here. And then you have the other cycle, which was 2013, leading into the cycle peak. So I don't think we've hit that parabolic advancement yet. I do think that it probably comes at some point during this year. It's just a question of, is it going to be in Q1 or is it going to be later on in the cycle towards Q3, Q4? Only time will tell. So 40% in regards to that over there. And this was the last major update that I did for the whale members over the December period. I was looking specifically over here at the stop and reversal indicator, which is a little asterisk sign. We're looking at the 21-week exponential moving average, which is the yellow one over here. And we wanted to see price form a high low, hold above this level, and then slowly grind towards the upside, which is currently what we're seeing. That would be the bullish case. The bearish case would be, of course, if we do start to break below that key $90,000 level, you do have interim support over here, but you threaten the overall strength of that trend by breaking that stop and reversal indicator, which stands for exactly that, stop and reverse, right? That means price could be stopping and potentially reversing the trend. If we did end up doing that and breaking below the 21 weekly exponential, which is currently situated at $83,000, that most likely means a little bit of a curveball coming into the crypto cycle, meaning that you are going to have a much longer term correction before picking price up again later on in the cycle. And that pushes the cycle out further, meaning it's a right translated cycle. Remember, the further towards the right-hand side on a time scale that the cycle finishes, the longer the cycle is, and that's known as a right translated cycle. As it currently stands, I do think everything is business as usual, and I think that bulls do have the edge over here to potentially push price higher. Of course, breaking above those previous local highs at that $105,000 level will, of course, also negate the bearish divergence, which we do have on the weekly scale. So you can see over here, there is bearish divergence, stands out like a sore thumb. I don't know how many people are paying attention to this right now, but you have, of course, the same thing that occurred in 2021 cycle over there, with higher prices over there, with higher highs and higher lows on the Bitcoin weekly chart against the USD pair. And then we had the momentum oscillator, that being the RSI, coming towards the downside. And we've seen the same thing over here, right? Higher highs, and we got lower highs over there on the momentum oscillator. So we need to give it a little bit of time. We need to see what bulls do on the 4-hour, 12-hour, and the daily time frame to determine what happens next over here. Trend trumps all, and as long as the trend is towards the upside, we continue to remain long and strong. Timing wise, we also expect that this cycle should continue and new volume should come back into the market. So as it currently stands, bulls are in control because price is above all the levels that matter. It's above the 9 and the 18 exponential moving average, crossing towards the upside. It's above the yellow line over here, which is your RSI on the daily, which means that RSI is now continuing with strength. It's had a perfect reset over there. And remember, the reset on the daily timeframes will bode very, very well on these high timeframes like the 5-day, where you'll start to get the stochastic RSI also crossing towards the upside. But and this is a very, very important but over here, in order to also eradicate and negate this bearish divergence over here, we would need to see volume come back into the market in a big way. And it is expected that you should see a rise in volume, since most people are coming back from their vacations, where, of course, they weren't even looking at charts. They weren't looking at their screens at all. And consequently, we want to see this 7-day moving average on the daily exchange volume turn back up. It's really, really bled out further than what is comfortable to me personally over here, losing the all-important $100 billion mark, which was where our prior top was set when Bitcoin traded at $74,000. And this is in alignment with what we're seeing with that bearish divergence over here. Theoretically, this is a bearish divergence with price now trading at about $100,000, but the volume is significantly lower than that previous time where the volume was at 100 billion, but Bitcoin price was at 74,000, right? You should expect that as Bitcoin's trading at 100,000, which is a 25% premium above what occurred back at 74,000. Well, the volume should be doing exactly the same thing, and it's not, right? We'll give it a little bit of a breathing space or room right now because it was the vacation period. So I think let's monitor this over the coming weeks to see if this does actually pick up as the rest of the market returns. But that's one thing, at least in the bearish camp, where I'll definitely want to see this turn back up to eliminate that bearish divergence on the weekly scale. All right. Now, another thing to be looking at over here is, of course, we focused on this for quite some time. We are expecting the big red candle over here, which is a good thing for the altcoin sector, that being the Bitcoin dominance chart. Remember, when Bitcoin dominance drops like that, this is where we see the absolute face melting altcoin seasons, where we get the biggest gains. And that's actually what most people conceptualize and think of as the bull market. The reality is we have been in a bull market already for almost 3 years. And this should be the final year, right? So this is the final year of the bull run, but this is where altcoins are set to outperform. So we're waiting for that big drop towards the downside. And then the question is, will ETH follow through? Well, if we look at this chart over here, and let me just quickly change the screen perspective for you guys. If you look at this chart over here, this is looking at Ethereum's monthly return, specifically following the halving year. So 2016 was the halving year. Going into 2017, you had an absolutely face melting rally for the first quarter, actually for the first 4 months. from January all the way into April, 32%, 48%, 214%, and then almost 68% for Ethereum. Then you had 2020, which was your Bitcoin halving year, the post-halving year, which is the equivalent of this year, 2025. That was in 2021, 78%, 8%, 35%, and 44%. And then you had the Bitcoin halving year. As it currently stands, Ethereum is up around 8% to open the month of January. So will we get a repeat? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think we get a repeat of what happened back in 2017 and 2021? If we do, well, the expectation is that altcoins should outperform. We should see a big drop over here in the Bitcoin dominance. And then we're going to talk about which are the altcoins that are most likely to outperform. So just showcasing with a chart form with Bitcoin against US dollars on the top, and then we have Ethereum against US dollars on the bottom over here. You can see the difference in price action, right? This was the prior all-time highs, of course, for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is already traded well beyond that on the monthly scale. And if you look at Ethereum, it is lagging significantly. So this is usually the time period seasonally where you expect a big catch up, which is why I wouldn't want to get too bearish yet. This is the catch-up phase. This is where you want to look to be fully positioned. Remember, we do also still have that presence of the massive cup and handle formation, which we did see on Bitcoin cup and handle formation. It did start to break out. You have Ethereum cup and handle formation, and you're still waiting for it to break that neckline and continue towards the upside. So just to eliminate any sort of confusion that there may be with regards to the analysis, to put my money where my mouth is, I remain 100% long in the crypto market right now. No chips off the table. However, I'll be very reserved with regards to allocating any new capital into crypto in 2025. When I say new capital, I mean fresh USDT liquidity that's coming from other side businesses, etc. The capital that I have in the market is the capital that will most likely remain in the market. So I just want to be crystal clear. So there's no confusion over there. We've seen a massive wipeout of the leverage. In fact, you can hardly even see that time period over here leading into November, December, where you have the yellows and the oranges, where you actually saw a lot of leverage coming back into the market. And that this has been completely dwarfed by what we saw back in February, March of 2024, right? Which is basically, this is essentially just a test pump, this March 2024, where Bitcoin got heated, altcoins were rallying aggressively. That's like the test pump to what you should see in 2025. So a lot to look forward to over there. Quickly having a look at the total cryptocurrency market caps, total 1, 2, 3, others, and then also total 3 measured against Bitcoin and others measured against Bitcoin to see the overall health. Total looks healthy, right? That looks fine over there. Total 2 also looks healthy, high highs and possibly a major high low that's in play over here. The only way we can confirm that is if we take out the 1.62 trillion. If we look at total 3, same thing over here, right? It's contending with a very important area. It broke above the range high. It almost came perfectly back to back test that, but probable high low over here. If you can see continuation and a break above 1.14 trillion over there, that will confirm the high low. And then you should move into price discovery, taking out that 2021 high. Remember, total 3 refers to the altcoin sector. So this chart being healthy and strong is ultimately really a good sign. Looking at others, right? Others, same thing, essentially confirming that higher low where you broke back into the downsloping trend line over there. So your bump and run scenario, big push up, bumps down, and now we're waiting for it to run. So clearing and back testing perfectly into support into that very key area over there. This is also a huge cup and handle formation. Remember, the measured move should take this up to 664 billion. And then in a moment, we'll talk about what are going to be the top performers when this does actually occur. The most important chart to look at over here is total 3 measured against Bitcoin. This assesses whether your altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin or not. Remember, Bitcoin is the safest play that you can make within the crypto markets. Instead of wasting a whole lot of time and confusion on what the best altcoin picks are, 99% of the time you can just buy and hold Bitcoin and you're going to do better than most people out there. But if you do have your finger on the pulse of the market, and you want to pay a lot of attention to what's actually happening, you need to look at charts like this. You need to measure the index for the altcoin sector, which is going to be total 3 or others. And you need to measure that ratio against Bitcoin, which is exactly what this chart does. So leading into the end of last year, we're looking for exactly this. We're looking for a bounce off of this region. We said that the yellow box zone below was very, very unlikely to hit. We printed the higher high. We broke the structure over there. And then we looked for the throwback into that break of structure support as a potential zone for high low to form. So far, that looks to be the case. If I zoom in over there, you got your lows, you got your high lows coming in within this zone over here. And so far, it is looking okay. You're seeing the same thing on the others chart, right? This was the expectation, came very, very close to the upsloping parallel channel over here, hit that level over there, bounced, break of structure, throwback, creates the high low, and now we're looking for the big move up to 0.26. Break and hold above 0.26, and at that point, you should have your full-blown altcoin season where you're seeing Ethereum print the same returns that we previously saw back in 2017, 2021, and 2025 should essentially be an absolute repeat of that. So as long as ETH BTC remains at these lower levels over here, the risk to reward. Remember, in trading, it's all about risk to reward. It's all about looking at the probabilities and determining, is it worth taking this bet? Is it worth placing this bet? Now, typically, you want to be looking at a risk to reward ratio of 2 to 1. So for every $1 that you risk, you should be making at least $2. You don't want 50-50 odds because this is not gambling. 50-50 odds would be like flipping a coin, right? For every $1 you're risking in the market, you stand to gain $1. For example, Bitcoin right now is not necessarily risk to reward wise the best bet that you can be making. But if you look at the ETH BTC chart, which supports everything that we've been looking at over here, you can see the falling wedge, which is a bullish formation. We're still waiting for the breakout. It's taking a very, very long time, which again adds support to why this is probably a right translated cycle, timing wise, most likely to end somewhere around October, November 2025. However, we will move those targets depending on how fast we move up in Q1. So with that being said, as long as ETH BTC is hovering around these lows over here, the risk to reward is very favorable to be in the altcoin sector. Why do I say that? Well, when we start to see an outperformance of Ethereum in January, February, March, April, potentially, just like we saw previously back in 2017 and 2021, the benefactors of that are the lower market cap coins, the other altcoins. ETH is seen as the proxy or the at least safe altcoin that's showing the roadmap for where things are going to go. So if Ethereum starts to run and outperform Bitcoin, we know that at least the altcoins should do very, very well. So the question is, if this does go up over here and risk to reward it's favorable, where is the mind share the highest and what are going to be the best picks? Well, currently, of course, it has been AI. Over the course of December, it's definitely been AI agents and AI as a narrative. We've spoken about my top picks many, many times before and ranked those. We said that the top performers are probably going to be meme coins, and I still believe that. AI second to meme coins, or tie with meme coins, we can say. And then after that, we're going to be looking at real world assets and layer ones, right? Real world assets and layer ones are probably going to be the next best picks. So with AI pumping, what are the best picks to be looking at and how far could this go? Well, if you look at the ratio over here, the entire AI agents sector is $15 billion, right? Meme coins are currently 121 billion, which means that the AI sector could probably in the region of 10x from here. Now, how do you get an easy 10x return? The best way to get an easy 10x return is to buy the picks and shovels, the obvious choices. We're going to talk about what the obvious choices are in just a moment's time, but that would be the catch-up trade, right? I have written about this before. We wrote about this in Whale Crypto Trades newsletter. This was already published on the 28th of November before the whole AI run actually took place. So for any of you that are subscribed to the Whale Crypto Trades newsletter, you would have received the top 10 picks that we dropped in here. And all of them are up significantly, right? All of them are up a massive amount. Virtual's protocol just continues to put in high highs and high lows. And then we got AI 16Z. Those would be the picks and shovels, right? Two of the picks that we put in here have done phenomenally well. Every single one is up over here, but two of them have completely outperformed the market. You wouldn't have experienced any sort of drawdown had you taken these trades when we originally posted this. So if you do want these newsletters and these picks, guys, it is free. There's a link in the description below. Just go through to the description in the YouTube, scroll through to the bottom over here. You'll see it says sign up for our crypto newsletter, and it's Whale Crypto Trades. It's 100% free. You don't have to pay a cent. You just put in your email address and you'll get access to the newsletter. Every time we write it, it'll be emailed to you, or you can just log onto the platform and view it over there. So AI agents, right? We spoke about this before. And if you look over here, it's pretty simple, right? As he says, if you've been trading AI agents in December, it's been an absolutely wonderful bull run with every single one of our top 10 picks that are up. Otherwise, December's not been a good month. It's been mostly lackluster, low volume, and down. But the question is, what are going to be the best picks? Because 99% of these tokens, as per 𝗧𝒩𝗡𝗏 in the AI agent sector, he says 99% of it is a scam, and the AI agent wrapper gifts are probably worse than other past trends, to be honest, right? And then he says, because at least with meme coins, they promise nothing, whereas AI coins try to LARP as much as possible to appear legit to unsuspecting buyers, confusing those as amazing tech, right? A lot of these just copy the code. A lot of the code is open source in the AI sector with AI agents, and they just copy paste that. And essentially, they're just putting a image over there, renaming it, and they're saying it's a new AI agent that's changing the world. So as long as you're aware of that, 99% of these are scams, and they're probably going to be going to zero. But there are some that do very, very well. Again, dropped in the Whale Trades newsletter on the 28th of November. Two of those that are very, very good are going to be, if you compare it as the cathedral versus the bazaar, is going to be, of course, 𝗙𝗧𝗏 and 𝗙𝗢𝗏𝗏𝗧, right? These are like the picks and shovels, the best platforms to get in the blue chips that are comparable to, for example, Ethereum and Solana, but specifically within the AI sector. The other one to look at is Virtual's protocol. Again, we've written all about this. You can still access this newsletter, and it's still relevant if you do want to learn about why we made these specific picks over there. And then you get other ones that, of course, have wrapped themselves as memes. So if you're looking for AI portfolio ideas, I can highly recommend that you're going to have a look at 𝗙𝗔𝗓, the DeFi Edge. This is him on Twitter over here. I mean, I could probably just retweet this for him because it's such a great tweet. Let's repost that over there. Go through to my Twitter if you want to find this. Go and have a look at that. But I think that this is great advice when it comes to how to build a portfolio over here within the AI sector. So this is what the portfolio would look like: a very chill portfolio, lower risk. You know, maybe not going to get the same upside as picking the 1 in 1,000 that does phenomenally well. But if you want exposure with low risk, the chill portfolio, as he says, 50% in virtuals, 50% in AI16. It's probably going to outperform the majority of people's picks out there. And I recommend always going for the safe trade, right? Go for the sure thing, the guaranteed to make money trade. This would be it, right? No such thing as a guarantee, but as close as a guaranteed to make money trade as possible. Virtuals, AI16Z, you buy it on dips, end of story, and enjoy it, right? If you look over here, there's Sam Fleming in the comments. That's the winner, buddy. 𝗙𝗏𝗏 strong. 𝗙𝗏𝗏 is strong. 𝗙𝗏𝗏 is also one of the coins that came out recently and did pull the massive 100x return. So that's what you missed. If you weren't paying attention in December, the 𝗙𝗏𝗏 ran very, very hard. Okay, we got alpha or beta. Virtuals is the alpha play. And then you can look at ARK or Griffin as the next one. A lot of these have, again, been discussed, of course, in the newsletter. If you do want to just go back to the 28th of November post that we did over there, it is there. If you look at the barbell approach is often referred to as a safe trading approach within investing, where you have essentially the bar and then you have an equal weighting of plates on each side, right? So the barbell approach, virtuals and AI16 as your safe bets, and then you go for the higher risk plays, right? Those are going to be the low market caps. All of them have been discussed in here. If you go look at the market cap list over here, you know, things that are trading under $50 million market cap, that can start to go on the end of the barbell. So Virtual's AI16 is your barbell, and then you start to stack the plates, which are going to be the high risk things under $50 million market cap, specifically onto that plate over there. And then a little of everything. I think that this will probably get you wrecked, but he says infrastructure alpha plays and some beta plays, and then you throw in various AI agents across the risk curve, some alpha ones, like the AI16 and virtuals, and then you go into sub $10 million market cap coins to go into the trenches. If you do take this approach, I would recommend around 90% of your at least capital that's going into the AI agents will go to virtuals and AI16Z, and then you're going to use about 10% that you're just going to sprinkle across anything that's very, very low market cap. It's going to be like a meme coin. You could get into something at a $50,000 market cap. Most of them will go straight to zero, and it'll be a complete rug, just like a meme coin. Some of them, if it pushes up to 10 million, 20 million, that's where you get those outsized returns, right? So looking quickly at the USDT dominance, we spoke about this before. It is range bound on the 4-hour time frame between the resistance level overhead, and then we have the support level below over there. In the low time frame, it's definitely in a downtrend, dropping with lower lows and lower highs. You can see this 4-hourly candle starting to put in a bit of a bounce. We want to see this go lower. And most specifically, we want to see it break below the support over here at 374, right? That's 3.74%. If USDT dominance drops, the money flows into the altcoin sector, and that's where we do phenomenally well. So we're still watching that. The other thing I'm keeping my eye out on, like a hawk on the low time frames, is of course the range bound environment with the Bitcoin dominance chart. So there it is, range high, mid range, and we have the range low that's over there. We spoke about this, narrowly missing the 0.786 fib retracement, rejecting and not closing many candles above the 618, and ultimately since then it's been coming down. So this is a good sign. This is what we would expect, and what we've planned for is the breakdown of Bitcoin dominance over the coming days, weeks, and months, leading into the altcoins running very, very aggressively. Remember, 2025 should be a year where you are more conservative. You've already placed your bets. You've already gone hard and aggressive the whole of last year and the year before that. That was where the majority of your bets have been placed. Now it's a matter of sitting back and determining when to take profits. We'll speak about that when it's more relevant. It's not relevant yet. However, keep an eye out on things as they do unfold, right? Other things to look at in terms of the meme coin sector, because as mentioned, I do believe AI and meme coins will continue to be the best performing asset classes within crypto assets over 2025, bringing the most outsized returns, followed by layer ones, and then of course real world assets, of which our picks have already been established, and we're already up multiples on those picks. Now, things to look at over here. This is a great tweet. Shout out to the bonk guy, UniPCs over there. He says, focus on the Elon Musk coins leading into the Trump inauguration. These could do well. Keep an eye out on Dogecoin. Remember, Elon's favorite meme coin. And then we have the Department of Government Efficiency. That's a specific coin that came out. Keep an eye out on any of those. And then Floki as well, right? Meme coins named after Elon's Shiba Inu, who's tweeted about a lot. And then also I would add into this 𝗕𝗘𝗓, right? 𝗕𝗘𝗓, Andy, any of those boys club coins that I've given. So 𝗕𝗘𝗓, Andy, we got Land Wolf, and then we also spoke about Bird Dog, right? That's kind of an extension. The reason that I mentioned this is if you looked over the course of December, Elon Musk actually changed his profile picture on Twitter to, I don't know if it's 𝗕𝗘𝗓 specifically, but he changed it to a frog, right? And you started to see a little bit of a run coming from 𝗕𝗘𝗓 over the course of December, and he changed his, what did he change his name? He changed his name to something as well. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you remember. What did he change his name to on, was something completely degen on Twitter. I'll keep an eye out in the comments if they're hardest. You can bring it up in a bit when they drop the name over there. Another thing I want to mention is Goku, right? Goku, we've been following this for a long time. Yes, there we go. 𝗕𝗘𝗧 Maximus, right? He changed it to 𝗕𝗘𝗧 Maximus. That was Elon Musk. Crazy, crazy. Anyway, we have Goku, right? Goku's being listed today on 𝗬𝗥𝗚𝗕𝗏. If you do want to purchase Goku on a centralized exchange, well, there is a link in the description below. If you go through over here, you can have a look. There is 𝗬𝗥𝗚𝗕𝗏. They are one of our partners. You can get actually up to a $20,000 sign-up bonus by signing up using that specific link in the description below. So that's good news for Goku. Goku is moving through the ranks over there. Here is the current price chart. Perfect SR flip over there, consolidating at this key level. I'm looking at Goku moving all the way up to the 1.618 at the very, very least. That's about 165% from current levels. I did post about this when I hit that SR flip region on Twitter. So if you did take that trade, you'd already be up at with 89%. So make sure you follow me on X. There's a link in the description below. It will take you there. But ultimately, I think this is the path for Goku. 1.618, I'll watch for potential profit taking coming into that zone. This is a fib-based extension that I took. So using the low to the high, back down to the SR flip low over there. That's the 1.618. Then we got the 2.618 and then the 3.618. So from current levels to the 3.618, which on these meme coins is not out of the question. That's a 412% move. Very, very good, right? And these are low caps, right? Sub $20 million market cap. Most of you got in at $1 million market cap if you've been in Whale Room and following the shows, because we dropped it there, I think, at about $1 million market cap, maybe even a little bit less than that. That is about a 20x gain, which is absolutely phenomenal, right? So a lot of good things to be looking at over here. I do still think these are going to be the top performers. This was the other lower cap one that's part of the boys club that I mentioned, and that is Bird Dog, right? Trading at 6.37 million. We've got about 5,000 holders over there. Chart wise, it needs to get back above, of course, the last 4 digits, 2274. That's the key level. Get back above the range highs over there, and then hopefully you'll see some continuation. So quickly looking at some of the other coins, TA wise, we do have Solana, which has respected and held that 50% level. That's the fib retracement. Couple of scary candles closing below, but it did reclaim, and ever since the reclaim, it has had a big move up, right? So if it does throw back into this region over here, because this is a key point, Solana only really starts to flip bullish again, low time frame. This is theoretically low lows and lower highs, which would be bearish, but it does theoretically start to flip bullish again if you can get above the white line, which is closing candles above 223. So what you may see is one more dip down into about 205. Watch for the high low, and then the next spike up, that will be the reversal of Solana. Now, similar to how we look to Ethereum to see when the rest of the sectors are going to perform, the rest of the altcoins are going to perform, we also look to Solana as one of the majors out there, because the majority of the at least these coins and narratives that we follow, like meme coins, AI agents, they built on Solana, right? So it's really, really important that if you want to see the likes of the AI agents and the meme coins do phenomenally well, you probably want to see Solana find support over here and continue up, right? But hope is not a strategy. Of course, we don't hope and pray for things. We just adjust our accounts accordingly based on what price action is doing. And what price action is doing right now is this has been a good move up over here, but the move back down into 205 is going to be very, very important if you even get that, right? Low time frame, it is looking like a little bit of a bull flag forming over here. So, maybe that will get priced back above 225, and then things will start to look good once again over there. Okay, and then we have ETH over here. I actually see if you zoom in, ETH on TradingView has updated their little emoji. So interesting over there. It's got little oranges and it's multicolored over there. Let's look at ETH. ETH's level to reclaim. The big breakdown level over here, very, very important. It needs to get back above $4,000. Breaking and holding above $4,000 over there should bode really, really well for ETH to continue. So it's given a second opportunity for those who were FOMOing in and worrying that they've missed the entire rally at this top level over here. You did throw back almost into the mid-range level over there. Key levels for ETH, you want to see that high-low form, and you want to see it break above 4,000. Getting above that 3,900, so let's round up and call it 4,000, is very, very good for ETH. And that's, of course, where we would expect then that we do see the outperformance. So where's our ETH chart over there? We do see the outperformance like in the prior cycles. All right. Quickly moving on over there, there's a couple of other things I want to mention. Another thing I want to mention is Horizon. Horizon is a privacy network. It is evolving from being a privacy L1 blockchain into a full L1 platform, right, with ZK applications. They're going to be building a whole lot on here. And so you can see the price is starting to move. Do keep an eye out on this. If you are an accredited investor as well, by the way, Grayscale has just announced the launch of the Horizon Trust, right? So same thing as Grayscale brought in the Bitcoin Trust, and then we had the Ethereum Trust. You have now the at least the Horizon Trust, which is Zen, right? Giving you exposure to Zen in the form of securities. That's so you don't have to buy it on another platform. That's just in case, if there's any of you out here that are institutional investors, accredited investors, and you only trade on these major platforms. Well, there it is. Grayscale have added Horizon into the mix over there. Okay, let's have a quick look at a couple of other things very, very quickly. I just want to check out Nia just out of curiosity, because Nia is also an L1 and an AI play simultaneously, and I haven't looked at any of these charts for quite some time. So big move up, higher high, higher low, key level, right? Same thing. You want to get above that breakdown level, which is going to be about $7 over there. But so far, this is at least showing some signs of strength, right? So it's really going to be dependent, I think, on this chart. This is what we need to focus on. If you see the volume coming back into the market, this is going to be really good for the rest of the altcoins. And the important thing to remember is that history doesn't always repeat. But guys, 99% of the time, the history rhymes, right? It doesn't always repeat. 99% of the time, the history rhymes, and the history should rhyme once again, where we see 2017, 2021, and 2025 repeating in the same things that we saw back in 2017 and 2021. So that's what I'm looking at over there. This is what I'm waiting for. Let's quickly see, is there anything else worth mentioning? Anything to look at? The 𝗙𝗧 obviously did lose a key level. This isn't looking good. It's got a lot of work to do. It has to get back above 14. Failure to do that means a move all the way back down to 0.0966, right? 𝗙𝗧 is about 4 to 5% of my overall portfolio. The importance over there is never go all in, despite how strong a project is fundamentally, right? This is a strong fundamental project. Speaking of which, as well, if you look at Horizon, by the way, they actually did the same supply as Bitcoin, 21 million. I'm just thinking of that because 𝗙𝗧 has mining properties just like Bitcoin as well. It is a proof of work protocol. All right, let's see. Anything else over here? What else have we got? Let's just quickly have a look through. How's Phantom doing? So Phantom, also not a strong sign. The fact that Phantom is rejecting from the mid-range at 85 cents. It's a very, very key point that has to get back above. Theoretically, if you are in a Phantom trade, well, you could hedge short over here with a stop loss just above at about 90 cents over there. I'd leave my stop loss floating. I'd actually leave it a little bit higher, about 93 cents. And if it does break this upsloping trend line over here, Phantom risks going all the way down, unfortunately, to about just under 25 cents over there. So rejecting from that key 50% level, which is never a good sign. Need that volume to come back into the market for these coins to do well. Injective still doing okay. Injective already came all the way back down to the range low to reclaim the mid-range over here, which is a good sign. Wait for a bit of a throwback into 24 cents if you want exposure. And then after that, of course, you are looking for it to reclaim and get back above 31, and then you should play out the rest of the move over there. Falling wedge formation, right? Falling wedge over here, breaks out, comes back. We've seen this. We spoke about this last year. I just want to reiterate one more time. We spoke about all of this last year on a lot of the coins, which we said, watch for it's not a failed breakout. You're still getting the breakout of the falling wedge formation. So here's your falling wedge, right? There's your falling wedge over there. Price breaks out. But the expectation is when you break these falling wedges, usually the way they'll play out is very aggressive towards the upside, right? You kind of get these massive reversals and then impulsive moves up. But what we've noticed over the course of last year with a lot of the coins is that you get these slow breakouts, right? So it breaks out, comes back down, chops about. And what that ultimately leads to is these big cup and handle formations, right? So you're going to probably get this big cup and handle formation. There's your neckline. So it's going to push up, create a possible double top like we saw over here, double top over there, reject, come down, form a little bit of a high low, and then ultimately run it up, right? This is a common theme that we're seeing over and over again. So as you look at your coins, if you notice those falling wedges and you see these, slow breakouts over there, your next step is to expect that it's probably going to form a cup and handle formation, right? So that's what we're looking at over there. Again, guys, remember the link to Whale Trades newsletter is in the description below. And then you also have 𝗬𝗥𝗢𝗙 over there if you do want to jump on and you actually want to purchase Goku on the open market. So a happy new year to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited to be back. I will see all of you on the next one, which is tomorrow. Have a great day and cheers for now.